Good afternoon, everyone. In last lecture, we have seen some advantages and disadvantages of static relays. We have seen first the static relays and then its advantages and disadvantages or simply limitations. Then we have seen these instrument transformers. Means there are two instrument transformers, that is the current transformer and potential transformer. So in these transformers are used uh, for lowering the voltage levels, means for a transmission purpose we are increasing the voltage level, so voltage and current levels also. So we cannot measure such very high voltages and currents, therefore these are decreased or stepped down to the measurable value, means we can simply measure by using our meters. That's why these current and potential transformers are used. So this current transformer decreases its current to 5 ampere, means which is measurable, means we can measure from 0 to 5 ampere, and potential transformers voltage is decreased up to 110 volt. Okay, so we can measure from 0 to 110 volt. So this is in India, but if we take the America, then that voltage is almost 67 volt only. So that much voltage is lowered here. So these are the instrument transformers and used for the measurement purpose. Okay. Now here you can also remember the number of windings. If they are asking, then you should remember the number of turns or the windings. So for CT, okay, so here it is CT, the secondary windings are more, means number of turns are more, and for PT the secondary number of turns are more. Okay, so why? We already studied in last lecture. Then we have seen the next point, that is the CT burden. Now burden means some type of load. CT burden, CT means current transformer burden. Actually when we are using this current transformer for the protection of relay, there are number of instruments connected there. Okay, so means simply if we take the example at our home, okay, so there are different types of loads. We are consuming energy, we are using different instruments, different devices. So if suppose it had some particular capacity, suppose any type of system, okay, which is supplying power to that load, then suppose that system is having 50 kilowatt capacity, and if the load connected is more than that, then what will happen? That system will become loaded. Okay, likewise here for this current transformer also, whatever devices or whatever instruments connected there, they are demanding some more power. Okay, they are demanding some more power from this current transformer. So its load increases, means that is nothing but the CT burden, means this is the additional load. Okay, in simple language, it is the additional load, and this CT burden is expressed in ohm and power factor. Okay, then next point we have seen is the knee point voltage. Okay, so knee point voltage. So what is mean by this knee point voltage? So everyone knows when actually when we are considering this current transformer, that time their primary and secondary, means there is a linearity between its primary winding and secondary winding. So at a particular point, when that linearity get disturbed, okay, or that is lost, okay, so at that point is called the knee point. Okay, that voltage is called the knee point voltage, and it happens when this comes to the saturation level, just like your BH curve I yesterday told you. Then the next point today we are going to see is the microprocessor based relays. Now this is important point because we studied the electromechanical relays, we studied static relay, but this is the advancement of this static and electromagnetic relays, that is the microprocessor based relays. And nowadays most of the relays are the microprocessor based. Okay, because they are having so many advantages, like they are very easy, and their cost is also low, because if we consider their reliability and their effectiveness, then they are very easy to operate, okay, as compared to the electromechanical relays. And one more important advantage is they are very fast, okay, that's why they are preferred. Now nowadays there are different microprocessor based relays, that is over current relays there, over voltage relays there, then numerical relays are there, all whatever for the distance protection also these microprocessor based relays are used, means some impedance relays are also there. So their differential relays are there. So these all are the microprocessor based relays. So here we will only see here what is actually the microprocessor based relay, and in the upcoming chapters we'll see the different types of this microprocessor based relay. Okay, so this is your only introductory chapter. So whatever static relays are there, okay, so we'll see all relays in detail in the upcoming chapters. Okay, as per the names, means some overcurrent relays are there, over voltage, undercurrent, under voltage. So many such relays are there. Okay, according to their application. So we'll see that in the next upcoming chapters. But here we'll see only the basic. What is actually the microprocessor based relay? Okay. Now, microprocessor based relay, you already studied microprocessor and controller, right, in third year. Here this is the advancement, as I told you. This microprocessor based relay provide many functions that were not available in the electromechanical or solid state designs. Means some we are if we take the example of this electromechanical relay, okay, then there is means fast operation is not there, then they require more maintenance. Okay, so these are some drawbacks of this electromechanical relay. So this microprocessor based relay is and one more thing is it is very compact, okay, as compared to the electromechanical relay. So due to this, these microprocessor based relays are used nowadays. Now this relay can be on or off, that is it has two stable states. Means for as this is an electronic device, so it is having two conditions, that is on and off, means two states. Okay, so output of a logic function is activated, that time it is high, and when it is deactivated it is low, means 1 and 0, all of you know. 1 means on, means activated, and 0 means low, means deactivated simply. And the three basic logical functions are and, or, and not functions. Here these three functions are used. Okay, now this is actually the block diagram of this microprocessor based relay. Okay, so here we are seeing only the block diagram and flow chart. Okay, no any particular relay is mentioned here, so this is only the basic, remember. Now here in this block diagram, what is there? Current transformers, then I to V converter, then rectifier, then multiplexer is there, A by D converter, and this is the microprocessor IC. Okay, now here Hello. So here, first, when when we are using this relay, that time we are using current transformer here. So this current transformer is connected to the transmission line or whatever be the device to be protected. Okay, that may be transmission line, that may be any equipment or anything. Okay, so we can also consider the distribution lines also. Okay, so uh, from where we are taking supply by using the current transformer, that voltage that current will be decreased here. Okay, so by using this CT, and that current is decreased, then uh, that output is given to this I to V converter. Okay, then actually the supply is AC. Okay, so it is rectified, means converted into DC, and then it is given to the multiplexer. Okay, then A by D converter means analog to digital converter, because this microprocessor we require the digital input. Okay, so it is first converted into the into digital signals, then it is given to the microprocessor. Okay, then there are it acts as a comparator simply. So here it checks whether that fault is occurred or not, means hmm, if it is above the pickup value, then only it gives signal to the circuit breaker. Okay, tripping signal to the circuit breaker. Okay, so this is all the block diagram of this microprocessor based relay. So here simply whatever I told you, that CT output is given to the I to V converter. Then in this signal processing includes over voltage protector, rectifier, smoothing filters, and auxiliary CTs. Okay, means depending on the requirement. Okay, as per requirement, your all instruments will change there. Okay, then this signal is analog, so it is converted into digital, and then this microprocessor is a decision making block. Then simply it compares the value, means compares the value of fault current, or that may be any actuating quantity. So if that value is more than the pickup value, then it gives signal to the circuit breaker for tripping purpose, and if it is lower, then uh, uh, it will be stable as it is. Okay, so this process is continuous. Okay, then the data logger captures the data and sends it to the microprocessor when there is a request from the microprocessor. Okay, so if any fault occurs, okay, so this microprocessor will send the trip signal, means information, to the circuit breaker. Okay, so the information can be displayed with a suitable display device when taking the signal from the microprocessor. So this value will be displayed there, and in electromechanical relays we cannot see, means we have to measure that the number of rotations and all, but these all are the digital relays. Okay, these microprocessor based relays are the digital relays, means we can measure the it is directly displaying the value. Okay, we will see that in practical also. So actually the instruments will come in this week or maybe in next week. So after that we'll start our practicals also. Okay, now the next is the flow chart for this microprocessor based relay. Now first start. Okay, then initiate the IO ports. Now here you can see its circuit breaker closed. First it is given to the circuit breaker, means we have to check here if that circuit breaker is closed, then if yes, then it will go forward, and if no, again back for the checking. Now just tell me, when this circuit breaker will remain closed, under faulty condition or normal condition? Yes, anyone? Under faulty condition or under normal condition, the circuit breaker will remain closed. Yes, anyone? Akshay Keche, Akshay, Vaishnavi, Sagar, anyone reply me fastly? What happens if any fault occurs? If any fault occurs, circuit breaker contacts will remain closed or will open? Very simple question which you already studied. Roll number 5, Pooja. So how you are going to study these relays? Revati, Sakshi, hello, anyone who is present? What is the function of circuit breaker? What is the function of circuit breaker? Oh. From next lecture, I am going to take attendance. Lecture only. So everybody be present for the lecture. Okay. So here, this circuit breaker contacts are always closed because the circuit breaker is connected in series with that circuit to be protected. Okay. So when this circuit breaker contacts are closed, okay, circuit breaker contacts are closed means it is a normal condition. Okay, it is a normal condition. So and if the circuit breaker contacts are open, means it is a fault is occurred here. If there is no any fault, okay, if there is no any fault, then that signal will be sent to the multiplexer to switch on yes to get the IDC. Okay, means if there is no any fault, then signal is sent to the multiplexer and we'll get this IDC, means DC output current. Then it is given to then send start of conversion signal to ADC. Okay, means whatever current we get from this multiplexer, that is IDC. So it is the analog quantity. So it is converted into digital by using this analog to digital converter. Okay, again check whether this conversion is over. So if it is over, then you can go to the next block. Otherwise, again the same process can be done. So if that analog to digital conversion is over, then it is again read by that microprocessor. That is read I DC, means that signal or that current is DC and it is digital. Okay, it is digital value. Then again, is current more than pickup value? Means that processor will check whether that current is more or less than the pickup value. If that current is less than the pickup value, then again you can go to the previous stage. Okay, but if that current is more than the pickup value, it means that a fault is occurred there. Okay, it means that a fault is occurred. Therefore, again it is given to the select delay time, then delay is provided there, and it is sent to the trip signal. Okay, so when it is sent to the trip signal, your circuit breaker will operate means it will uh, here what we can say, open its contacts. Okay, so this is the flow chart of your microprocessor based relay. So in examination they may ask you this, that is the block diagram and flow chart. So if they are asking a simple microprocessor based relay, but most frequently they are asking particular relays, that is microprocessor based over current relays or under voltage over voltage, some numerical relays. Okay, so everyone just simply understand what is this type of relay. Then the advantages. Okay, so advantages of this microprocessor based relay are it is very efficient and reliable. Okay, means its efficiency is very high. Okay, because there are no any means moving parts are there, so maintenance is also low. They are very efficient and reliable, then highly accurate. Okay, accuracy is also more, because here they are simply displaying directly the quantities. Then very fast in operation as compared to the previous relays. This relay is very fast in operation. Then programmable in nature, means we can program whatever data we require, means that relay is programmable in nature. Then fifth is economical for large systems. Okay, so when we are using different relays, means for example large systems, means if we want to protect a transmission line, so that is very costly. Okay, so for the testing kit also it is very costly. Then you can imagine for the whole transmission line, so such systems are very costly. But as compared to other relays, this microprocessor based relay is economical. Okay, then useful for centrally coordinated backup protection. Okay, means we studied this, what is mean by primary protection, what is mean by backup protection. For means backup protection means we are using again a relay. Okay, so for more than one, or that relay can be used as a backup protection for more than one or two circuits. Okay, where relay already exists. Okay, so this is useful for centrally coordinated backup protection. So all of you got this microprocessor based relay? समजले का सगळ्यांना? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Now, and everyone note these points. Now the next one is the types of potential transformer. So this is the last point of our chapter, types of potential transformer. Now this potential transformer is hello. So this potential transformer can be single phase, or three phase and operate with highest accuracy. Okay, and it is used to operate and control measuring devices, relays, and other devices. Means we already studied this, that potential transformer is used for operating the measuring devices. Means we can measure the potential or voltage. Okay, and also for the protection purpose, we are using these potential transformers. Then there are two types of this conventional wound type. Two types of this potential transformer. First is the conventional wound type, that is the electromagnetic type, and second is the capacitor potential transformer. Okay, so we'll see one by one here. First one, that is the conventional wound or electromagnetic type capacitor. Okay, now it is similar to the primary transformer. Primary transformer means your regular transformer where we are using the primary winding, secondary winding, but this transformer is simple in construction. Okay, then it works on a voltage of above or below 130 kV, but its operating voltage is very high, that is it can work above or below 130 kV. Now primary winding is connected to phase and secondary to the ground. Okay, and these are used in metering, relay, and high voltage circuits. Again, we can use these transformers for the high voltage circuits, then for a measurement purpose and for the protection purpose. Okay, so these are conventional wound or electromagnetic relays. Means it is simple, our just like our simple transformer is there. Okay, then next point is the capacitor potential transformer. So this is the second time. In this capacitor potential transformer, the capacitor is used. Its name is saying the capacitor is used, and it is a combination of capacitor potential divider and magnetic potential transformer. So this is the divider, and this is your intermediate, means the magnetic potential transformer. Okay, here you can see the five capacitors are used, and they are placed in such a way that what we can say, the voltage get divided. Okay, whatever be the voltage across these capacitors, it get divided there. Okay, so here very high voltage supply is there, so it can be measured by connecting voltmeter, and these two means these five capacitors are divided into two sections here, having the voltage, means that voltage is divided here. Okay, so then intermediate transformer is there, and it is connected to load, so we can check voltage across this load. Now the stack of high voltage capacitor from the potential divider, the capacitors of two sections become C1 and C2, and the Z is the burden. Okay, so Z is burden. Burden means some load on that transformer, means capacitor potential transformer. Okay, then the voltage applied to the primary of the intermediate transformer is usually of 10 kilovolt. Okay, remember for this capacitor potential transformer, that voltage is low, means almost it is used for the distribution level, we can say, because when we are using the electromechanical type of this potential transformer, okay, so for that the voltage level is almost 130 kilovolt. Okay, means it's for the transmission line. Now both the potential divider and intermediate transformer have ratio and insulation requirement which are suitable for economical construction. Okay, means as we are using this for the protection purpose and for almost 10 kV line. So they have the ratio and the insulation requirement, means they will require insulation also, and they are economical because the voltage is also low here. Now the intermediate transformer must be of very small ratio error and phase angle gives satisfactory performance. Okay, so this transformer should have very small ratio error. Okay, means whatever be the ratio of that potential divider and the intermediate transformer. Okay, means there will be a ratio of that two voltages. So means there should not be error. Okay, or it should be very small, and phase angle gives the satisfactory performance of the complete unit. Okay, so when we are using the capacitors, that's why its phase angle is giving the satisfactory performance. Now the secondary terminal voltage is given by formula V2 is equal to V1 into C1 upon C1 plus C2. Okay, so this is the secondary terminal voltage, means the load side voltage you can find by using this formula. Okay, so this is all about your capacitor potential transformers. Now we have seen these types here, then the microprocessor based relay. And one more thing about this microprocessor based relay is that they actually they are having so many advantages, right? They are very efficient, very fast operation, accuracy is there, but it requires some shielding. Okay, shielding is required for the protection purpose. Okay, for this, and also means they should be protected, because if there is any change in the environment, then they get affected by that, means by the environmental changes they get affected. Therefore they should be protected or shielded. Okay, so in this way our first chapter is over here. If any doubts are there, you can ask me. Anyone want to ask anything? Present or not? Hello. So for this chapter, MCQ are present. Sorry, MCQs are there, and that MCQ booklet is already uploaded on Drive. You can check that, and assignment is also given there. So you can also start writing the assignment. I will upload this final PPT. I already uploaded, but some points are remaining. Last points are not there. So today I will upload this final PPT also, and notes you will get in some days, because that is not completed. Okay, first chapter is still not completed. So after completion, I will provide the notes also. Okay, so if any doubt is there, everyone is getting the subject or not? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
सगळ्यांना शिकवलेलं समजतंय का समजत नाही? कोण आहे का असं समजत नाही?
समजते मॅडम.
समजतंय. ओके. Then Shivani, roll number 15 now. Shivani. संगीता, कोण आहे की नाही? Yes.
Yes, ma'am. समझते ma'am.
Okay. So if there is any doubt, you can ask me directly. Okay. So anything extra wanted from me, or if any change there in teaching? Yes, you can suggest me, no problem. Yes. Payal, any change you want? Dipali? Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, शिकवलेले समजतंय का? ओके.
मॅम थेरी असल्यामुळं थोडं हे होतंय, म्हणजे थोड्या वेळेस लक्षात राहते ते.
Okay, I'll provide notes surely, because every time load is there, so not getting time. Now 2 subjects. Okay, so surely provide notes. Just wait, I will unmute Shivani. She want to. No.